Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Okay. Shalom, Israel. Put a 1 in the chat. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Daquan, looks like that's Marcus. Shar, whoever else is listening. Like and share the class so our brothers and sisters can get it. Okay. Good. Just make sure you guys put a 1 in the chat so I can know that you hear me okay. Good. Looks like Daquan, Carson gave me okay. I appreciate that, Marcus, Daquan. Good. Make sure you get your notes, get your papers, paperwork, a tablet with some writing, so you can do some writing if necessary. You should always do that for each class, okay? Bria's watching. Glad to have Sister Bria. Glad to have the sis there. Or newly arrived. Glad to have it. Congratulations, sis. Bria, Daquan. Yeah, okay, good. Shalom, Israel. With Isupk, start off 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander General Yohana, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Officer Chaazaq Shapar teaching the Lashawan Qadash class here in Greenville, South Carolina on a Friday night. Glad you guys can join us. Drink your yayan, your wine, sit back, get involved in this Lashawan Qadash class. And we have a Lashawan Qadash chart over here to the left. It's the original Hebrew that we say every week, ancient Hebrew, the top line. You go to Awa, Abba, Gada, Hawazakata, Yakalamana, Sa'akata, Zakwara, Shata. Then we have the Syrian Hebrew language. Also, that's the language that we learned in captivity. They the same sounds, and we speak the real Hebrew, not this broken Yiddish. Of course, the pictures, what we call Hebrew characters. We'll go with a few of these characters tonight, get people involved with that. We always try to get people involved a little bit with some understanding. Okay? So like I said, we're going to make sure we hit y'all up with a little bit of a Hebrew tonight. And this is a class that I've had before, been quite a while. It's a, let's see, make sure we have, yeah, okay, good. Fountain Inn, okay, that's where you are, okay, got you. See brothers checking in from Fountain Inn, see Bree checking in all the way from Augusta. Fine sister there, that's a fine family. New addition, we got DeQuan, we have Marcus checking in from Columbia. And of course many other people checking in right now. You know, we appreciate you guys checking in class. There'll be more people checking in as we go, so make sure you participate, like the class, like and share the class, so people can get involved. I like to share it to my group here also. Okay. Yeah. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to go over some Lashawan Qadash. We're going to find out these 12 tribes that that the Most High say that are us. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. When you go to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, since the beginning of time, the Most High separated us from Adam. The Bible says, like it says in 2nd Esdras 6:54, you know, he's separate. He say all of us come of Adam, you know. But the other nations be like spittle. You know, he don't care about them. He only care about the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And we're going to go over that tonight. We're going to show you how they're spelled with their tribe. As I think it's Genesis 49, how we would be and where we would be necessarily. That's a whole class unto itself. But I'm going to go over the Hebrew part of it so we can discover and know that the Most High had us named after characteristics of our tribe, who we are. For instance, like Reuben, you know, it's the firstborn. You know, it's a boy. We're gonna go over that. We're gonna show you how to spell it in Hebrew so people can understand. The original language was Lashawan. Lashawan means language. Qadash is, of course, holy. We have a holy language, and that separates you yourself. That lets you know. That's why when you read the Bible, you'll understand how it's read. And even Hebrew, and even in the Greek, when our people went over to Greece and we learned and we became Hellenists, we still had the integrity of who we were. We just had to be grafted back into the full 12 tribes of Israel because we were lost, man. You know. But this is what is going on here. I mean, just like I say, Hebrew consists of let's see if you guys can remember. Let's go over this here for a second here. We're going to use some board space over here before we get involved heavily in class. See if you guys remember. How many characters are there in Hebrew? I know y'all. How many? We know. There we go. How many characters? It's a question. It's an interrogative, man. It's a question. It's saying how many. I'm saying how many characters are. In other words, how many symbols up there? Those are characters. So like you say A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Let's see if we can get this right. Of course, we're going to say the ancient Hebrew first, because that's the original. How many characters are in the ancient Hebrew? Somebody put it down on the board and let me know. Tell me. How many characters are there? See, yes, Bria, because I have her daughter, her name, I think it's Yasaria. It's a beautiful name. Beautiful name. Let's see. What we have? The Quad say 22. Anybody disagree with that? The Quad say 22, all the way from Fountain Inn over there, man. I just want to make sure people. I spent about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe less, going over this because I want people to to at least understand what we're dealing with. When you're dealing with the Hebrew characters, of course, we'll go over a few of them. Let's see. The Quan said 22, and I'm assuming if anybody wants to say yes or no, just say that. But he says 22, and that brother's right. So let's clap it up for him. Exactly right. That's 22 characters in the Hebrew language. Now, how many are there in the Assyrian Hebrew after our captivity, in the Assyrian? How many? I mean, there's got to be some people got to know, like, how many characters are there in the Assyrian Hebrew? It's a difference. They're the same characters, but there's some things added there. I will suggest that. There's some things added there in the ancient Hebrew. So how many characters are there in the ancient Hebrew? All right. Give you guys a few minutes there. How many in the ancient? Marcus, Bria, and who else we got here? The chat. Because more people will be joining here on Friday. DeQuan Carson should have Quan Kearse in class also. Radazah, Akaz, all of my sisters, Shara, Labaya. You guys are. If you're listening, some people at work, I understand that. Who else? Sean's wife, Sean, Officer Sean, would be Ashan. Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, so in the Assyrian language, just in case people don't know, there's 25. I'm sorry, 27. It's a lot. 27. And there's a reason why there is. Anybody know why there's 27? Why are there 5 more characters in the ancient Hebrew than there is in the Assyrian Hebrew, man? Why are there? Why are there more? Why is there more? We'll give you guys a chance to discover that here for a second. Why is there more Assyrian characters? Because, that's a character, that's like, when we were caught in Assyria, back in those Assyrian days, those wicked nations back then, man, when they had us in captivity, we've been in captivity for a long time in different places. So, let's see. Well, in Assyria, there were 5 ending characters. There's 5 ending characters in the Assyrian. 5 ending characters. And they are Ka, Ma, Na, Pa, and Tazah. And I kind of go over this every class just so people can know. You have a Ka, you have a Ma, okay? Then you have a Na, you have a Na, and you have a Pa, and you have a Tazah. The reason why I go over this is because when you start to spell in Assyrian Hebrew, which looks altogether different. I mean, it looks vastly different. They still have the same amount of characters except for these ending characters. And this language looks, for instance, you'd have a language that looks like this. That's a Ka, sort of like a little 7. Of course, you have a Ma. You have a Ma that looks like this in the ending characters right there. Okay, and then you have a Na. Like that. Then you have a Pa, like that. And then you have Tazah, like this, like that. And those are Assyrian characters. Those Assyrian characters their weight, what they do is they stick on the end of words in the Assyrian language. Now, you don't have to worry about that in the ancient language. The ancient language had what you call connectors. And we'll write that down here. Connectors. Connectors. We try to write this every class so people won't have a real reason to say, oh, I didn't know that. Well, this is what the connectors look like. One looks like upside down U and one looks like a U. And they go underneath words to help you to join the sounds together. That's what they're for. We're going to give you some examples and we'll let people write that down here. You guys write that down while I get something here. But you guys write that down and tell me, and then we'll come back and show you. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Oops, lock it there. You guys write that down there. I'll get my erasers over here. Oh, man. Okay. To reiterate, there are 22 characters in the ancient Hebrew. They have connectors. Those connectors are independent connectors, which have their own sound. And when you want to join sounds together, you have dependent connectors. That's what this one is. Okay? And of course you have 27 Assyrian characters. And they have 5 ending characters. That's why it is 27. Let's see. Somebody wrote a comment here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dependent and independent. Exactly right. Exactly right. Let's clap it up for the brother right there. Quan. Very good. Okay. And we're gonna give you some examples of those characters right here, real quick. That's just like a brief understanding. Let's give an illustration so when we go to class you'll know what we're doing, because every class involves this. So when you're reading Hebrew, you just gotta know what this is. Every class you have to know this. So let's do this. Let's use a word like let's say if we use a word like let's use a word. How we want to do? I want to do this. Yeah, let's do this. There's one. And let's draw like that. Yeah. That's what that word spells. Yayan. Of course, if I get you guys to translate it, it will look like this. Ya, like this. I'm going to take my time with this here because we have new students in class. I want Bree and DeQuan, and of course Marcus been around for a little bit here. I remember when he first started, oh, this is too hard. This is too hard, sir. But now he knows how easy it is, see? But you have, this is a ya. That's a ya. This is a ya. But when you put it with a na, that's a na. It says yan. So we have the word yayan, which translates to mean wine. It just means wine. You know? That's what it means. It means wine. Now, what are these connectors for? Well, that's what we said. The upside down U. It's an upside down U. It's an independent sound, just like that. So when you have a yah, all it is as simple as this. When you have a yah over here, you want to pronounce it by itself. By itself, yah. But now when you want two sounds to be joined together, you put a U under the whole shebang right there. And that makes these sounds, instead of saying ya ya na, you're saying ya yan. Does everybody understand that? If you do, just say Khan, sir. I mean, then I would understand that you understand. Not necessarily a formality. I just want to make sure you guys understand. So when we have a word like ya yan, you know, if you guys understand that, just say Khan. You know, let me know. Let me know, because I want to make sure we read from left to right. No, we read Salakia, those, okay. Okay, Hebrew, all right, Salakia. Hebrew is always read, Kwan, from right to left. From right to left. From right to left. Now, I forgot to say that, but I assumed it and I shouldn't. Hebrew is always from right to left. You don't read from left to right. Now, when of course in English, sometimes I have to write things down from left to right. But that's only because, you know, I'm stuck here in slavery with you guys and we're locked up in American slavery. So lucky about that. Man, where was I? Khan, gotcha. That's right. Daquan, Bria, and Marcus, we read Hebrew from right to left. You always read it from right to left. So therefore it will say ya, yan. I kind of wrote the American saying it because in wine, I mean, I ain't gonna, you know, it's just, I can't write that from, I just got to write it the way that I learned in, you know, way back in grade school. Wine, it's wine, or ya, yan. And if you was to say that in American, if you was to write it in American, that's our place, that where we live, it'll say ya, yan, like that. But in Hebrew, you spell it like this, ya, yan, right to left. Independent sound, that is the ya, that little Z with a kickstand on it, as Officer Charles say sometimes. And this yan right here, that ya and that na, when you put these two sounds together, you're going to have yan. So ya, yan, wine. That's what Jesus turned water to wine, you know. That's why Jesus, one of his miracles, ya, yan, wine. So Christ, that's how you know we can drink wine. Christ drank wine. You know, let's see here. Okay. See if we got anybody in our other channels over here. Salaki for a second, just kind of. We usually have Sister Pyra, but she may be at work. I understand. I understand all you guys, man. You carry slaves, you got jobs. I understand it. I appreciate you joining class, everybody. Trust me, I do. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it looks like everybody's in the Facebook tonight. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's keep going here. Just kind of refreshing some things here. Daquan is watching. I appreciate that, Daquan. Yeah, you here. Mark is probably working in brief. I hope you listen. I know you busy. I know you tired up, baby. Okay, baby girl. I know you tired up right there. Let's see. We got somebody on Facebook here. Let's see who we got. Let's see here. We have Zamara. Congratulations, Zamara, on your new son. I believe it's Chaazaq, right? Got sisters with babies back to back here. Now, congratulations, Chaazaq, Officer Chaazaq, can't believe it, and Zamara is Red. Their son, Chaazaq, and of course Bria with her daughter Yasaria. Okay? And Bria's name is, of course, Sister Yaila. And her daughter's name is Yasaria. Which is very good. She's checking in the wife of Officer Nata. Yeah, right. Zamara, good. You're welcome, sis. Absolutely. A yonder bar. A yonder bar means, you're welcome. And listen, okay, here's Yayan. Of course, here's the connectors. That's the independent connector, and that's the dependent connector. All right, let's write this in Assyrian to show you a difference here. Just so people say, a lot of people say, oh man, teach them Assyrian. But I teach both of them at the same time. All you got to do is pay attention. Matter of fact, we'll put another color for those people who say, man, we need to learn some more Assyrian too. Man, I can teach a whole class in Assyrian if you want me to. If I had that many patrons over there wanting to do that in Hebrew. All right, so we say Yayan. So we say like this, Ya, and then we say Ya, and then we do something special here. There's an ending character that goes with that, and it looks like this. Normally that end right there, of course you don't have any connections, you don't need them. This is Assyrian in green, of course in blue you have ancient Hebrew. In the Assyrian have an ending character because normally the end would look like this. It would normally look like this. Like that. It'll normally look like that in the Hebrew. Okay? Yeah. Just wanted you guys to understand. And Na would normally look like that. But we don't need this. We don't need that because Na is one of the ending characters. So you make sure that you replace it with this right here. That one. That's the one. So you have in the Hebrew, and the Assyrian you have Ya, Yan. It looked like Ya, Ya, Yan. But it's really Ya, Yan. That's really how you, make sure, let's see what we've got here. Make sure you guys like and share these classes. Okay, Chaazaq joined class. Trooper Chaazaq, glad you have that. Glad you joined class, bro. All right, but those are the two examples. Now we'll move on to our class. I just want you guys to understand that's what this is. Now you understand that Yayan can be written in ancient Hebrew, up in blue here. It can also be written in Assyrian Hebrew with an ending connector. That's the Na, and that's what this is. This just happened to be a Na right here. This just happened to be a Ya here. This just happened to be a Ya here. Does everybody understand? If everybody understand, just let me know. Just say, God, sir. Yeah, I understand that. And then, that lets me know that, the teaching, sharing, teaching, that you guys are getting it. Because if you ain't getting it, I need to back up, punt, man. And kick, instead of kicking a field goal, I need a touchdown. So, to reiterate, in blue, Yayan is a very good example. Ya, Yan. Because this U here joins these two together. Yan. Over here, you don't see anything that joins here. That's why ancient Hebrew is not the original Hebrew. The original Hebrew is the ancient. Old Hebrew. Let's see. Khan. The Quran say put Sir up there, Daquan. You'll understand that when you keep standing here long enough, and we get you to be an officer. So put Sir up there. Respect that office, man. All right. Well, we say Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Baraka Thumb to all my brothers. Yahweh Shem Alataba Hashem Yahweh Shai to all of my sisters out there. To Brian Zamara and everybody else that are in class right there. Okay, and I really appreciate that. But those are examples. You guys got any questions, just type them up. You got any, like Daquan, you said before, you said you wanted to know Hebrew from right to left. Yes, Hebrew is from right to left. I'm glad you guys, I'm glad you said that because, yeah. Yeah, you write Hebrew from right to left, okay? Always write Hebrew from right to left. Oh boy, let's see here. Yeah. It's not a problem. It's not a. It's just that so that you can understand that we have rank and order, Daquan. That's all it is, man. It's no, it's nothing to get excited about, but it's just to let you know we have a little rank and order, and then we understand. I mean, you wouldn't. We just have rank and order. Yayan. Independent connector. Dependent. In other words, this Yah depends on this Na. That's the way I say it. That's why you say Yan. That's why it's easier to understand Hebrew in the ancient Hebrew. It's easier. But over here, if I ask you to write what this spell Yayan, you may have a problem. You may say Yayana. You might. I don't know. But we have lessons on how to spell in Hebrew, ancient and Assyrian. Okay, we're going to erase this here, and we're going to move on with the class here. We're going to go over some class here, some study here, what we have called the 12 tribes of Israel. Slack. Okay? The 12 tribes of Israel. 12 tribes of Israel. Let's see. See if everybody's, yeah. Chaazaq. Yeah. Lucky about that. Okay. The 12 tribes of Israel, man. These are the tribes that the Most High gave us. From 4 women. Rachel, Leah, and I believe they're 2 concubines, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not going to go into find them right now, but unless you guys demanded it and asked, and I'll have to look it up. But anyway, Hebrew, Ha. We're going to say Ha, Shanya, Asherah, Shabbat, Yam. Shabbat, Yam. And they want to say Yasharallah, Israel. So it translates to Ha is the. Shanya, Asherah. A lot of people saying, well, how you get that out of there? Well, let's break that down real quick before we go on further. Ha means thee. In Hebrew, it's a preposition that means thee. And of course, we go over prepositions from time to time in class. A preposition is a modifier before the noun or adjective, I believe. Ha. It means the. So when you say the, when you say ha shanya, you're putting it before. Shanya means two. Let's break this down here for a second. Shanya. It means two. You say, well, how do you get 12 out of that? Because we say Asherah. And I had a whole class that breaks this down in the numbering system. I started to do it tonight, but I said, let's go on to something a little more. So 10 plus 2 equals what? 12. So when you say Shanya Asherah, Asherah always means 10. And when you say Asherah, so that's how we can make the statement Shanya Asherah, which means 12. If everybody understand that, make sure you understand. And of course, Shabbat Yom. Shabbat Yom means tribe. Shabbat is tribe, and you add an S. We'll break that down here. Let's just break that. Let's take our time and break all this down here, because people have a right to know how our tribes got started and who we are as a people, man. We have a right to understand and know what this stuff means. So Shabbat means tribe. Let's write that down. Let's break that down. Shabbat. It means tribe. Okay? You say, well, what's the yum for? Where do you get this S from? Well, if you want to say tribes, and you want to say yum. That's where you get it. So you put the word together, you have Shabbat Yum. Shabbat Yum. So anytime you want to make something plural, especially in a man, you would normally use the male as the you wouldn't use a female. There wouldn't be female tribes. So it's always going to be a male, so you want to use Yam. Shabbat Yam, not Shabbat Yan. So Shabbat Yam. So if you want to say tribe by itself, say it's tribe, man. But we have 12 tribes. 12 is plural. So we say Shabbat Yam. And that's where tribes come from. So far, so good, right? So if that's the case, now we have a word called Yasharallah. And that's Israel. When you say Yasharallah, you're saying Israel. Yashar Allah. Yashar Allah. Okay? Yasharallah. The Prince of Power. Because Shar is actually Prince. Yah, Prince of Power. Or Prince of Power. Allah is power. And that's who we are. We're the princes of power, man. We're Israel. Yasharallah. That's who we are. Does everybody understand that? I'm assuming they do. Make sure you guys like and share the class, because we get information from here. We're going to go with this first tribe here in a second here. But I want to make sure everybody understand that when you're saying the 12 tribes, ha is a preposition. It's a preposition meaning the. It just happens to be a preposition. Preposition prepares the noun to mean something. In other words, you're not saying some tribe or all tribes or call, which means all, call shanya, all 12 tribes. You're saying the. So you say ha. That's one of your prepositions you should have written down on your paper already. Ha is a preposition. So you say ha, the preposition. Shanya is two. And I think if we have any time in class, we'll go over the number system. But I don't know, 4 weeks ago, I think we went over it extensively, but we may go a little bit touching if you guys want. Asherah is 10. So 10 plus 2 is 12. So that's where you get 12. And of course, Shabbat. Tribes. Shabbat. Almost like Sabbath. Most High knows what he's doing. We're special people, man. We're special chosen people. So we say Shabbat Yom. The 12 tribes of Israel. You guys let that sink, okay? So we can erase this and go on and go to our first tribe. What y'all think the first tribe is going to be? Y'all type it in the chat. Matter of fact, If everybody's there, Marcus, Quan, Bria, Samara. See if you guys can translate this. I'll give you the ancient Hebrew and the Assyrian Hebrew. Matter of fact, I put a big old dot between the two so you won't get them confused. This is the ancient. Y'all write down what is. Y'all had your Hebrew long enough. Matter of fact, I gave you one. That's Yah. You know that's a Yah because we just had it on the board over there. So what are the rest of these? What does this spell here? You have the independent connectors. Independent, dependent. So tell me, we give you guys a chance, or if you choose, you can do it with the Hebrew. We have all of these characters over here. They spell something. This spells something. So I gave you the first one. Y'all tell me, what does this spell here? Tell me what does this spell. Since we're going over the 12 tribes, what's this tribe right here? That's what we're doing. Tell me. Y'all take your time. We give you guys time because I know sometimes you guys, like I said, you drinking some of that yayan that we had and mayam and water. But take your time and write down what are these tribes. Tell me what these tribes are. Yeah, that's what, and we're gonna have our children, man, Nathak and Yasaria, to carry on in these tribes, man. And so we're gonna make sure we keep preparing passing along the tradition of the elders, man, the tradition of what we should be going through, and that is the Hebrew, and that is the scriptures, and that's the camps until the Most High comes back here and take us up in these chariots, man. We're going to be studying this as long as I got breath in me. As long as I got breath in me. Y'all take your time. What does this spell in Hebrew? In other words, I don't want to give it to you. I want you guys to tell me. I give you all of the connectors you need. Here's independent, and of course the last one is dependent. These two right here. They're dependent on each other. I'll make sure you guys can see that for real here. But you got to know what these characters are. That's important. Say, man, what are these characters, man? So y'all take your time. We'll give y'all some time. I don't ever rush class. I like people to try to get it. Take your time. Y'all take your time. We give you guys 15 more seconds here. Tell me what this spells. It's our first tribe here. Take your time, write it down on paper. Use your chart. That's what that chart's for over there. When we say Abagada, Hawazaka, Tayakala, Manasa. You see? Pataza, Kwara, Shata. And that's what you're writing. That's one of the, I just mentioned every last one. One of these are one of the characters that I just mentioned. And that's how you come up with the answer. But that's how you become proficient in Lashawan Qadash, by knowing that chart. The more you know of that chart, the better off you are. Okay? All right, let's see what the Quan have. Ah. All right, Quan, I like that. I like it. We're gonna give you your first lesson too. You're doing a great job there, bro. Let's see. No, no, that looks good. That looks good. Don't worry about if it's right or wrong, because, you know, I did that a few years back. But here, let's put down what you had. You have Yah. Let's see, what do you have? What do you have? Awesome. Let's just write it down over here. It don't matter if it's all wrong or not. And I think you have to put Salaki. There. That's what you have. I think you might have. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give you credit for that. Let's clap it up for that brother. Quan. Yeah. The only thing that you had more than you needed was right. Let's concentrate on here. Let's concentrate on here. Yah, ha, wa, and that's great. You did great. And we have da, and then you have ha. So it's yaha wa da ha. But you got to understand this. You don't need this A here. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, let me tell you the rule. This will be a good rule for you to learn. When you have a da, you have a D, and you have an A for da. Then you put an H on the end. You give, when you read right to left, just like you've done, Yah, Ha, Wa, Da, this Da here gets the full sound. Pay close attention. Everybody in class. I'll use another color here because it's paramount. As a matter of fact, like that, okay? Now, you get the full sound out of the da. But when you get to the ha, because it's joining to another sound, you don't need that vowel after that. And that would have normally been this A that you had right here. Right? You don't need that. You wouldn't need that. So it's spelled D-A-H. So you have the word Yahawada. Yahawada. Let's clap it up for that brother right there. Clap it up. Very good. Now, you understand that? Let me see. Let me make sure. Make sure you understand that concept. Exactly right. So if you understand it, just remember. Only with, just let's go over this again because it's paramount to understanding here. Because I try to tell people in class, because the more and more, if you pay attention in class, I'll teach you something. This is Yah, full sound. It's got an independent sound. That's why it gets the full vowel. Ha, independent sound. It's not joining anything else. Wa, independent sound. It ain't joining nothing else. Now, we ain't going to talk about the Syrian just yet, because you can't see that there. All you see is just sounds. Yahawada. You don't know, because you don't have these connections what the Most High gave us from the beginning. That's why. Check this out. Then you have Da, D-A, Da, like Dawada, which means David, like the symbol I have right here. That's the Da. Okay, one of these days I'll do a class on that. I've done one before. Anyway, Da. And then you have the Ha. That's what we learned in Hebrew class, man. Ha, passed down on. You have a Ha. But in this case, it doesn't need the vowel sound. It don't need it. You have two vowels in Hebrew, the Ah and the I. And there's a Ah sound right there. Just the A by itself, or the Ah. And you just use that H because that's all it's trying to do. It's trying to connect to that sound, that one sound. But you drop the vowel. So you say Da, Da. You don't want to say daha. You want to say da, like that. Da. You're like you're breathing out. Da. So like I'm an English teacher. Now, I damn sure ain't an English teacher. But that's what it is. And I'm pretty sure you understand that. So Yahweh. What do you think that means, Mark? Still says Marcus. What do you think that means, Yahweh? What do you think that means, Daquan? Radazak? Marcus? Zamara? Sister Yaila? Who is Yahweh? If I say Yahweh, who would that refer to? What tribe do you think that is? What tribe is Yahweh? Well, we'll say what it is. Let's tell you what it is. I'll give you 10 more seconds here. Yahweh. When you say, like my name, Chaazaq Shapar, Ban Yahweh, that means my name. Strong voice, son of Yahweh. Who is Yahweh? Ban Yasharallah, son of Israel. Oh, son of Israel. All the priests and prophets, man. All of the Yasharallahs. You know, that's who we are. Okay? So what do you think? Yashar, anybody up there? Flock to the men over me. Judah, there you go. He says Judah, and that's exactly what it is. Judah. Judah was that fourth born son, man. And I like when people pay attention in class, because that lets me know that you want to learn. We'll put it out here. So we put another one underneath there. Judah. That's right. Judah. That's the fourth born son. He's just first on my list, but he's the fourth born son. Judah. That's the black man, man. It's the Negro. That's us. We're in captivity right here in America, man. The tribe of Yahweh, Judah. Yahweh. It's as simple as that. You know, that's what it is. And of course, in Assyrian, you have Yah, Ha, Wa, and then Da. It's trying to do what this is, but it doesn't have the integrity to do it because it doesn't have the right connectors. All right, let's go to number 2. Let's go to number 2. 2. I'm going to give you one, and I'm going to let you guys write it out. Let's see. Who's another one up here? I can do it from memory, but Lord have mercy, don't want to do that. Let's do it from, okay, let's do it from the board here. Well, Judah, by the way, Judah means Yahweh thanks. Like it says, thank you, Yandabar. Yahweh thanks. Yandabar. Yahweh thanks. That's what this says. That's what Judah is. It means Yahweh thanks. Okay? Yahweh da. So let's write this one right here. Let's write this one down. We're going to write it down. I might write it in Assyrian because, damn. All right. Let's write this one. Let's see. Guys, get your pencil and paper out and just be putting this one in. Yeah. Now, there we go. What about this one? Guys, take your time. You're going to get proficient in Chaazaq Shapar's Hebrew class because I'm going to take it there with you. There we go. Here's the second one on the list here. Who is this? Write down what that is. And of course, you got to take your time. Sound it out with the chart. Remember the lessons, how you drop vowels when needed. You know, take your time. Lord. Hell. Yeah, take your time. Write that out. Take your time. Be slow and accurate about it. Get all your corrections. Make sure you write everything down right. Lock. Okay, let's see. Oh, let's get back a little bit here. Block the camera. Okay. Let's see what you got here. Let's see here. We gotta give you guys a little time to work on that. See what this spells. Spells something, because we definitely have some connectors going on up in here. Number 2 here. Not necessarily in their birth order. That's just, you know, the order that I'm naming them on the board here is just an order. You know, this, you know, because Judah was the 4th born. You know, black people. We were scattered on those slave ships, man. Ah, man. Let's see here. Give it a little bit of. There we go. Where you at today, Marcus? I know you must be busy, man. And Quan, Chaazaq, Bria, Zamara, I know y'all must be busy. Grab one of them up here, but I mean, you know, hey, if you're busy, I understand. Let's see what you got. Take your time. Break this one down right here because it has, as a matter of fact, let me put these connectors here in green so you can see them. Take your time, man. There you go. We just got rid of, we just got, what am I saying? We just got done with doing the first one, Yahwadah. You know, and what it means, Yahwadah. Yahwadah means Yahweh thanks. God thanks. You thank, like you thank you or thanks. But that's what this is. We're going to go to the next one here. You guys tell me. You know, you use the Hebrew chart. You guys know what these symbols are, so tell me what word that is. Write it out. Type it out. You only got a few letters. I got 6 up there, so tell me how big is that word going to be. And all you got to do is just translate it from the chart. And that's how you do this. Hebrews is that easy or that hard, depending on what you want to make it. Use these connectors up here, and I'll write it out in Assyrian here in a few minutes for people who say, oh, you don't put no Syrian up, because if I put the Syrian down here, this will make this job very hard here. But I will put it up there. I will write it after we get this one in, and I like to use the ancient Hebrew here. Take your time, use the chart. use your chart. Take your time. Yeah, we ain't in no hurry. Yep, take your time. Because in Hebrew, when you say the 12 tribes of Israel, you know, once you get this information and you know where they came from, where all these tribes came from, then you'll understand that we're not part of any African nation, man. We're not part of any of these other nations out here. You know, that's why the Most High said, separate yourself from these nations, from these other nations. Separate yourself and make sure that you are the 12 tribes of Israel. Come together as Israel, man. That's who you are. The 12 tribes, not the 12 tribes of Israel. Not none of these fake Israelis, they call them. Wanna-be likes. You know, want to be like us and they not us. Going around here looking at a wall and putting pieces of paper in the wall and bobbing their head in the wall, you know, doing like that and carrying on. You know, those are fake tribes. They don't, although they use the Assyrian Hebrew, that does not make them the original Ha-Shenya Asherah Shabbat Yam Yasharallah. They're not the original 12 tribes. We are. We were put here on slave ships in Deuteronomy 28:68. We're the ones who were put here and put in the Caribbean, put in the Americas, man, put in the Trinidad, the West Indies, South America. You know, we're the ones put down in Mexico, man, put in different places and used as for our slave labor. That's where these tribes come from. That's what Judah got his. That's how we were. Stripped naked, man, sold on the auction block, man, for anywhere from $50 to $1,000. You know, whatever they can get out of that, get out of you. There's these people call themselves enslaving us, and the Most High did it for our punishment. You know, but there was a time when they should have released us. Ezekiel, I believe, 35:5. They did not. So let's see what we got here. Dequan. Okay, well, let's find out. Let's see what you got. He's got, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. I see what you got. Let me explain it to you. But that's a very good try there. That's what I like about it. That's why I got to give you, clap it up. Well, let me break down and explain to you what this really means, okay? I'm going to put it over here by bond. And I'm going to write it from right to left because it's English, because I'm just going to put it right down underneath it, right? B. I don't know if I can write back, but let me see if I can try. Let me just try anyway. We'll be. Nah, that ain't gonna work. What possessed me to do that? B-A-N. That's the word it's trying to get out of there. Bond. Now you have on yours, I think you have bana. And that's fine. I understand why you did. Have a Kazamar checking in. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barak Thumb. To all my brothers. Hashim Allah Thah Shem Yahushua, my sister. Yeah, you have bana. And I understand why you have bana. Because you got to remember that rule. Bond. B gets this full sound. B-A. Ba. Now, na in itself has a ah by it, but you don't need the ah. Because why? Because of the dependent connector that joins both of them. Remember, the dependent connector is always trying to join a sound together. Two sounds, two or more sounds together. That's what I'm saying. If it's one sound, it's just one sound. And what's unique about here, you got all of them are dependent connections. They depend on each other to make a sound. In this case, it's saying bond. Why? Because you don't need the A or the ah. So it's instead of bana, you say bond. Right? And over here you have ya. So I'll put a little dot right there so you guys can see this. And it's good to take your time to make these, because if I rush through this and assuming that you know this, then you guys will miss this valuable lesson here. The same thing here. Let me see what you had for that. Let's see. Shar, glad to have you, Officer Shar, watching. Good. And then you have Yama. Good. So see, you say, and you did the same thing. You put Yama, you put the ma over there, but you got to drop that last vowel over there. You want to say dependent connector here. You want to just say yam, ya, and then you want to say yam, yam. That's what it's trying to do right here. It's paramount. It's essential into understanding what we're going to spell here. And then same thing over here. Ban yam yam. Yan, I'm sorry. And then you have the same thing. Ya, ah, na. In every case, you had bana, yama, yana. And that's why you said it didn't look right. The only reason why this, because you carried those vowels out and all you had to do is drop them. Why? Because we have dependent connectors here. We don't have independent. Now, if I'd had independent connectors on there, then that would have spelled that word. Bana, yama, yana. But this is spelled ban, yam, yan. Ban, yam, yan. In other words, if I was to write it in Assyrian, you'd have ban, yam, yan. You know, you look on the board, you say, you're going to have ban, and then you're going to have, what did I do? Oh, na. Ban, like that. Then you have ya, like that. Then you have ma, like that. Where am I? Yeah. Then you have ya, and then you have yan. That's the end, and that's when you get that ending character right there. You got to make sure, because there's an N. That's one of those ending characters, remember? So you have ban, yam, yan. Instead of this na on the end, you would have that end. And that's in Assyrian. It's a whole other world. But to go back to relevant ancient Hebrew, ban yam yan. That's what we're trying to spell when we say ban yam yan. Okay? Glad to have my brothers in class, all of them. And my sisters, who I know are busy right about now. You know, taking care of those children, man. That's what we want. The next Judas, the next Benyamins. And that's on my list here as far as 12 tribes of Israel. That's what we have. We have this right here. And that's all you were missing right there. You were trying to add that ah. And you don't need it because that's a vowel. And in the vowel, when you read it from right to left, you want the full sound, and it's trying to join this na together. So you have ban. That's a rule. Very seldom does that rule break. There is a rule when you start to use the ah and the I in there. There are some rules in there different that I see. If I'm not mistaken. Then you have yam. So that word is spelled banyamyan. So let's write it down. Let's write down what that spells over here. Ban, yam, yan. Now what in the world is, who is banyan? That's what I want you to tell me. What does that sound like to you? Banyamyan. What does Banyamyan sound like? That's right, Daquan. You did great, man. Y'all doing great in class. So just make sure, you don't need the ah, because you have the only reason why is because you have the dependent connector. If you don't have the dependent connectors there, then you can use that ah behind it. So if I did it in Assyrian, it'd be a little harder to understand. But there you go. So Ban Yam Yan. Ban Yam Yan. And who is Ban Yam Yan? Take your time. Tell me who's Ban Yam Yan in class. Somebody tell me who is Ban Yam Yan. Who is Ban Yam Yan? Who is Ban Yam Yan? Tell me. Y'all write that down. We'll give you guys time to write that down. Who in the world is Ban Yam Yan? Ban Yam Yan. Ban Yam Yan. Slakia. All right, let's see what you got. Yeah, let's go clap it up for that brother. He said Benjamin. Damn right. And where does Benjamin reside, man? That's down there in that West Indies, right? All those places down there, man. That's Benjamin. Benjamin. Let me make sure I got that spelled right, and plus I think, yeah, you spelled it right, Daquan. Benjamin. Let's look his name up, find out what Benjamin means, man. Benjamin says, son of the right. He is son of the right. Benjamin. That's what this says, son of the right. If something gonna be right, Benjamin is son of the right. I ain't gonna get into the detail of the numbers, just telling you what it says. That's what it says. That's how it's translated. He is son of the right. You have Yahweh thanks, then son of the right. The people in America here on the slave ships, the fourth born son, then you have Benjamin, son of the right. That's the people down in the West Indies, man. I've been down there a few times. Son of the right, that's who they are. Those are our brothers. Son of the right. Son of the right. We'll put another one up here real quick. Son of the right. Benjamin, very good. All right, let's put another one up here. Okay. Let's see if I won't do that. I'll just go ahead and write it normally. I don't trip no, but I don't write that in Assyrian, then that wouldn't be even fair, really. I spelled the thing myself. Son of the right, that's what Benjamin is. And you guys make sure you write this down in your notes. That way you'll have it. You don't have to ask me again, and I'll answer it, but you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Loa. Like that. Translate that for me. Yeah, that's right. That's a real fast one there. I mean, because they don't have many characters there. and keep your guys. Let me make sure you guys understand there. you know, when I put these connectors here, they mean something. Okay? These connectors. It's join these connectors. So whatever they represent, remember the rule. And here is an independent connector, and here dependent connector. So what does that word spell? Y'all write that out in the chat there. Tell me. Tell me what that spells. Take your time. Tell me what that spells. Oh, man. Let's see. Okay. You put down, let me see what you put down this time. You put down this word. Let's see. Let's write down. Let's just write down what you put down. You did this. That's what you put down, I think. Let me check it. Make sure. Yeah. No way out. Gotcha. All right. Let's follow the rule. So, if I were to have you write that again and correct it, what would you rewrite? Quan, Marcus, Bria, Samara, Kaz, anybody. Block it to the men above me. When I got this right here, I got a dependent connector going on here. And I got an independent connector here. If I would have you write this again, what would you write? Going by the rules that we talked about. Remember? Think about it strongly. I'm going to let you think about it for a second. Let you think about it. Let you think about it for a second. What would you write if if I would have you write this again? You said la wa ya. So if I would have you write that again, what would you write? Correcting it. Based off the rules that we said. With the dependent connector here, that's what that is. As a matter of fact, I'll put it in blue here. That's a dependent connector. That means those sounds depend on each other. And of course, this is an independent connector right here. Those sounds, this and that, depend on each other. So what will be the rule? Let me see, did you write it down? Well, go ahead, spell it out. Spell it out what you think. Based off the rule that we said, Quan. Based off the rule that we've said, rewrite it. Right? Rewrite that word again. With a dependent connector now, remember, there's 3 sounds here. 2 of these sounds join together to make one sound. this sound is by itself. So what's the rule for by itself and when something's joined together like that? Sister Parabot joined class tonight. Property Officer Sharp. Okay. All right. Now you tell me. Glad to have you in class, Sister Parabot. I don't know if you're at work or not. But join class. Glad to join class with the other sisters. Sister Yaila. And Sister Zamara. Now we have Parabot. Three sisters. 4, 5, 6 brothers. All right. At the slave. There you go. I understand, sis. But if you don't got time, that's fine. At least you checked in. I appreciate that. Give everybody else, even give your husband understanding about it. That's what he wanted you to check in. So that's good. Let's clap it up. Clap it up for everybody that's checked in tonight. Very good. Okay, check this out. Come on now. You said la wa ya. So if you would have changed that, anybody in class, if you would have changed that, what would you do to spell that again? If I'm saying there's something that needs to be corrected there. Because I got a dependent connector here. And I got one independent connector. So I gotta make a change here. So what would you do? We'll give you time. Take your time. Anybody in class that wants to look at that? Chaazaq, Marcus, Sister Yaila, Sister Zamara, what would you do? Sister Parabot, and Quan Kears, Quan Carson. Yeah. What would you do? Oh, let's see, what did you put on there? You put, okay. I see what you got. You got Lawaya. Okay, now you spelled it this way. All right, let's see. Let's break this down. We're gonna get there. La, wa, and then you said ya. Now, why did you put the ha on the end? Wait a minute. I'm sorry, you didn't do that. You said, yeah, you did. Yeah, you said la, wa, ya. Yeah, you did that. Yeah. Why did you add the H on the end, the ha sound? There's no ha out there. So why would you add that on there? Try it again. Let's look at the rules here now. Come on. We got a dependent connector with this, and that. And we got an independent sound here. So only use what's in front of you. Don't guess. Don't try to make a word that's not there. Just use what's in front of you based off the rules that we've been going over. See what you think. You said la wa ya, then you said la wa ya with an H. You don't have to add that H or that ha. That's what that H represents, I'm assuming. You don't have to add that. So tell me. Tell me, what do you think should go there? And I'll give you some more time because I want you to think about it. Instead of me thinking about it, I want you to correct it. Or anybody in the chat. Because you're so close, man. You're so close. You're so close, man. Tell me what that is, what that be. Tell me what you're missing or what you're adding or what you didn't add. Tell me. You look at the rules. Remember the rules that we said up in here? Ban yam yan. What rule should we do down here? The same rule still apply. The same rule when I said ban here applies here. That's the point. No, Sister Para, but I have it. I have the connectors correct as for dependent and independent, sis. But I understand why you said it, but it's not that. Oh well, you said why y'all should be independent. Why y'all? No. Go with what I have. The dependency and the independency are correct, but just tell me how to spell the word. That's the point. Tell me, rewrite this word, because he has help out. Everybody help out here. Everybody help out. He has la waya without, and then he says la waya with an H. So assuming that I put down these that connector, that dependent connector right there, and independent connector are correct. There, that's not the problem. I'm not trying to fool you with that. I mean, I not on these anyway, because you don't want to do that, because that'll be hard to guess. No, these is correct. Just tell me if that's correct. Now, what does that spell? That's all I'm trying to say to you. Yeah, I mean, you close, man. You close. You real close. So take your time. Take your time. I mean, what's going on here? I mean, like I said, that dependent is right. This independent is right. So how do you write that in English? That's really all I'm trying to say. Okay. Yeah, no, I understand that. Salaki trying to jump in the ball. No, that's fine. That's not a problem. Sister Baraba and brother, my brother Daquan, you're real close, man. Go ahead and correct what based off just like we use the word ban yam yan. What's the rule? What do? We spell it ban, yam, yan, ban yam yan. Those rules, those sounds depended upon each other, and this is a very good example, because Banyan has all dependent connectors. Those sounds depend on each other. So what's the rule? Now take your time. That's not a problem. As a matter of fact, the key to understanding what this one is what we have here. Go back here to, I have it on the board right here. Ban yam yan. What rule did I do here and here? They're the same rule. That applies. The same rule applies there. Same rule. That's all I want you to think about. Think about it. And of course, I'm just making it a lot easier for you. A lot easier, Daquan and Parabah and everybody else in the chat. There's a rule going on here. Just like da. Yahweh da. Da. Ban. Yam. Yan. What rule applies there that should also apply here? That's all I'm saying. And once you get this, from here on out, you'll understand the teaching of the class. That's the reason why I go. I mean, it's knowing the 12 tribes of Israel. That's good. That's fine. I can go over them and write them on the board, and you can write it down and go home. But when you learn how to spell them, now you're beginning to know your language in the Assyrian and in the ancient. In this case, we're dealing with this ancient Hebrew. There's a rule going on here with the dependent connected I'm trying to get you to see. Take your time. We'll stay there until you get it. And I'll help you out. I'll give you a few more seconds. That's why I said that. As a matter of fact, I did help you out by saying ban, there's a rule. Yam, yan. That's the rule. Okay. Let's see what you spell. Now now you spell it this way. Yeah. Man, you're so close. But now you spell it la wa ha ya. Let me break this down to what you do. You said la wa ya. Over here you said la wa ya ha. Over here you said la wa ha ya. Okay? Take a good look. Matter of fact, as a matter of fact, stop concentrating on this rule so much. And what do we do here? Tell me what, tell you what, Kwan, and even Parabah. What do we do here on that rule there? And the same thing we did here and here. Tell me what we did there. Tell me what we did. Same thing we did here, we just dependent connected here. The rule all applies. What do we do? Y'all take your time. What do we do? Because you have it spelled three different ways here. You added a ha sound here, and there's no ha sound over here. You added a ha, and what'd you say? La, wa, and then you had a ha here, and there's no ha there. So don't never add symbols that you don't need. Oh, there you go. Now Parabah, she says this. She says this. Okay? And that's the correct answer. Let's clap it up. Oh, y'all did. That's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad y'all took your time to do this, to demonstrate it. The word is lawyer. Well, let's break that down. Let's find out why that's lawyer. She's right. She wrote down, matter of fact, if we write it in Syrian, it would be law, and then we'll have, what did I say? Law, and then we have yeah. Something like that. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. Parabah say lawyer. And what she's saying off of this, she's saying that let me see. Law. You want to put these two sounds together. So that was spelled, as a matter of fact, I'll erase these off the board. I'll erase everything on the board and put down the correct one. I want you guys to correct it yourself, and you guys did. So, we say law. Why do we say law? Because that's a wa. That's a la. You don't need an ah after this because it's trying to make one sound. And it's saying law. Usually, well, that's just the way it is. I mean, it will try to, how can I explain this? It will try to make one sound, in this case, law, like the word law, or law. And this over here is by itself, ya. Lawyer. And that's the correct way. You don't have to add anything other than what you see. Because if you add something other than what you see here, you're going to mess the word up, or you're going to get a different meaning. You don't want to add a ha when you don't see one. Like you were trying to add AH, which is a vowel sound, but you don't have to add AH. As a matter of fact, you want to do just the opposite. You want to take away. This Y and A has a sound. I mean, this wa, this W-A, wa, has a sound. All it needs is the wa, but it doesn't need the, it's a la, ha, law, like that. You don't need the ah, you don't say la wa. Because you said la wa, then you try to spell it like that. Remember, the rule is to drop the vowel. It's hard to understand sometimes. But drop that vowel. We're going from right to left. Law gets the full sound. Here, we'll reiterate again. Law gets the full sound. Law. Okay? It gets the full sound. Full sound. La. Can't help it. But when you get to wa, it doesn't get a full sound because it's trying to join to the la. So you say law or law. So it's a wa sound. Law. Because you're joining them together, right? And then what's left? Well, you got an independent sound over here, y'all, so you put it down, y'all. Don't add anything or take away from it. Got you understand that, Daquan and Paraba? I'm pretty sure you guys, Radazah, Marcus. I know you guys busy, but I just want to make sure you guys understand that. But she's right. So let's clap it up for the class right there. That's exactly right. Lawyer and lawyer, and there it is over there, lawyer. And it means if you spell lawyer, it's the same thing. Well, we'll say over here. We'll say lawyer. Lawyer. Law. Yeah. Anybody know what lawyer is? What is lawyer? What tribe? Yeah, got you. You got it right. You got it. You got it. Yeah, just see. What I was trying to get you to say is, if you understand the rule now, law, ban, yam, yan. They kind of spell words of their own because they're joining sounds together. And the precedents always get the sound on the right. The vowel is dropped on the left. That's all you got to do. So, who is lawyer? Somebody tell me who's lawyer. Lawyer. You get clap it up for that brother. You said Levi. That's Levi, man. That's like the Levi, or where people live in Haiti right now. I've been down in those islands. They speak a lot of French, man. They have a tribe, Punta Cana. It's right there. You got the next, right next to it. Trying to think of the name of it right now. But I went to Punta Cana, and they and it's right next to it. They speak Spanish primarily, and Levi, yeah. And y'all, so y'all said tribe of Levi. Levi, those are the Haitians, man. But that's what that is. We're gonna do. Let's see, we got time for one more maybe. Those are the Haitians. But I want you guys, more important. I appreciate that, Paravad Kwan, and everybody else participating. More important. I don't know if we got time for one more. We might. Let's see. But what I want you guys to understand, more importantly, I just want to take the time. I may not get involved into another one here. But what I want you guys to understand, important, Levi means join to me. Because Levi who was Levi? They were the priests, man. They're the ones who took the lambs and prepared them for Passover, man. They took the blood and cut the blood, cut the lamb's throat so the blood can bleed out, man. and Levi. Those were the ones who did all that. You know, that's the tribe of Levi. We call them lawyer. And so, but what I'm trying to get you guys is how to spell these. When you spell them, you're also learning how they sound. Yahawada, Banyamyan, lawyer, and all that stuff. And I'm writing down the Assyrian also, because in the Assyrian, you know, you don't get all of these sounds out. As a matter of fact, I can understand you guys spelling them in certain different ways if I just use Assyrian, you know. But when you use the ancient Hebrew, then you can more correct yourself a little better. And that's all. I just want you guys to get to understand. It means join to me. That's what lawyer names mean there. And so, and I see now where I got to concentrate just a little bit more on breaking down how we spell things. Because I used to, well, I know Sister Parva was trying to say, do I got these in the right place? Now, that is a lesson on its own. But no, I'm assuming that they're correct. Sometimes I will try to do that. Now, I may have confused you when I did that. But not really. I just want to let you know that I'm writing them down correctly. And I want you guys simply just translate what that is, lawyer. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to confuse anybody. But I think you guys got the lesson. The lesson is the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm trying to get you to see that when you spell them right, you'll remember them correctly. Yahawada, Banyamyan, Lawa. And we wasn't able to go over all of the 12 tribes because I want to make sure that you got to understand that this Ba and Na, they have a dependent sound over there on the spells bond. It's the same sound. The same understanding of pronunciation of a word when you join two sounds together. It has the same rule. Keep the full sound, drop the vowel. Keep the full sound, drop this vowel. Keep that vowel because it has a full sound by itself. So, these full sound right here, ban, law, and then you have a independent connected by itself. Of course, it's going to keep its full sound. But over here, you got two joined together here. That means the first one keeps a full sound, but the next sound in it is just trying to make a sound to join on with the la. This trying to make a sound that join it, that's trying to sound like a ba. So it's band, or ya, or yam. Hear that sound? Or ya, or na, or yan. But you don't want to say bana, yama, yana. You don't want to say la yaha za. You don't want to say that. You definitely don't want to put a ha there because the ha, there's no ha there. There's just a wa. And I understand that. And because I used to do that. Of course, once you learn the first lesson, it will become strange to you at first till you get used to it. You'll see naturally what the dependent, here's the thing. What the dependent connector does and the independent connector does are two entirely different things. One joins two sounds and one keeps them independent. One's dependent, two sounds dependent, and one's independent. They do entirely two different, they tell you and denote what sounds they are, but you have to realize one joins sounds together and one doesn't. That's important. That's important to understand that. You know, it's very important to understand that sound. Understand that. And I was going to go on further and do a few more, but instead of me rushing trying to do all of these, you know, I wanted people to get the full understanding. You know, I'll do another class next week with different class, but I may do maybe 2 or 3 of these, maybe a couple, and each week I may throw it until we get all finished with the 12 tribes. But the point is, if I were to do that 12 tribes chart all in class, you guys will be missing how to spell this, and that's the whole idea in Hebrew. Who are they? This means, lawyer means the Lord thanks. This one means joined unto me, Levi. And Benjamin means, what did I say, Benjamin? I forgot. We can't leave that Benjamin out, but Yamyan. Son of right. Yahweh thanks, son of right, and joined to me. Yahweh thanks, son of right, and joined to me. Those what those mean. So make sure you write those down in your notes so you'll understand Yahweh to Judah, Benjamin, Benjamin, lawyer, Levi. Okay, or lawyer, joined to me. Okay, make sure you write down those. And right, of course, make sure you write. Make sure you write down the Assyrian also, so you'll understand. A lot of people get in class. I want to learn some Assyrian. Don't realize that I try to put it down here on the board all the time. But just to know that the 12 tribes, or Judah, Benjamin, Levi, man. I think it's Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad. What else did I have? Slakia. Reuben. Reuben was the firstborn son. Rabawan, I think. Naphtali, and then you have Ashar, and then you have Issachar. You know, those are the 12 tribes. And if they're not, if our people are not up under those 12 tribes, man, you're simply not part of the 12 tribes of Israel. And then we don't welcome you. We matter of fact, we separate from anybody that's not under this 12 tribes. You know, we've named 3 of them tonight. Because the Most High wants us to separate from. He don't want us to be part of these tribes, man, that be part of these other tribes. That's why we messed up here in America. Sitting up here can't figure out who we are, because we're trying to look like the white man, look like this man, look like that man. You know, trying to worship a rock over there with different religions, and that's what you get from these other nations, man. Most High, he tell us to separate from these other nations, man. That's the whole point. And it says, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I'm the Lord, I'm holy. For I have severed you. Matter of fact, Leviticus 20 and 26. If you turn to Leviticus 20 and 26, it would say, and ye shall be holy. That means Qadash. And that's what we're learning. Our 12 tribes, our holy 12 tribes, man. And ye shall be holy unto me. That's what the Most High always wanted for us. That's why we've been spanked now, because there were times when we didn't do what we were supposed to do. We weren't holy. And then he says, for I am the Yahweh, or the Lord, am holy. The Most High said, I'm Qadash. He says, and have severed. That means cut you from other people, that ye should be mine. Let's look up that word severed. Let's make sure we understand. A lot of people, let's look that word up, because just in case you don't understand what severed means, you think it should be something else. Let me tell you what severed is. Let me show you what severed mean. Let's give you the definition of what it is before we go here. Severed, having been cut off or sliced off. He severed us, man, all the way from the Garden of Eden, man. He severed us, man. Severed us from the womb of Rebekah. Made sure he separated from Esau. Made sure. That's why the Most High said, he has severed us, man. That's important to understand. He severed us from all of that. That's why he says, and ye shall be holy unto me. For I am the Lord, am holy. For I, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy. and have severed you from other people. From other, what do you think this is in the Bible for? He said he severed you from other people, man, that ye should be mine. The Most High has a people, special people. That's what we read about in 2 Esdras 6 and 54. And as for the other people, they'd be like spittle. He don't care about them. He don't care about these other nations. He cares about the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's why we write them on the board here. We write here what the 12 tribes are. Of course, we got 3 of them. Of course, we got more to write, of course. Yahweh and Benjamin, Lawyer, and we mentioned them a second ago here. That's what they mean. And as a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and just say them. See if you guys got Judah, Yahweh thanks. Benjamin, son of right. Levi, join to me. Simeon, affection heard. Zebulun means dwelling. Okay, you guys write this down. Ephraim, I'm fruitful. Manasseh, made to forget. I think it was Ephraim and Manasseh, man. Those were Joseph's children, man. But the Most High and treated them like they were the sons, because there's no tribe of Joseph, so those are the 2 tribes that take the place right there. So what did I say? Joseph had Ephraim and Manasseh, and Ephraim is Puerto Ricans, Manasseh, the Cubans, Gad. Those are the American Indians, man. What you call the native Indians, I'm sorry. It's Lockett, not American Indians. The native Indians that were here before the Americas was. The native Indians were here, man. So I am fruitful. Ephraim have a lot of children. Manasseh, made to forget. Gad, troop. Because, troops always hunted them, man. They're troops. They're traveling troops, I imagine. Reuben, Rabban, C is the son. It's the firstborn. Reuben. Asher means happy, Ashar. Okay? Naphtali, my wrestling. Gotta wrestle with them, man. Naphtali. Naphtali. No, I'm sorry. Napalthaya. And Issachar, he is hired. Yashakar. He is hired, man. The Mexicans, man, wherever they go, they pick everything from soybean all the way down to wheat and cotton. What would this slave America be without Issachar, man? Picking our fruits and vegetables, talking about wanting to send them home. All those people, all our 12 tribes had a major impact on building this America. That's the reason why we need to understand who they are. They're us. We're the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why the Most High said, I've severed you from those other nations. So let's clap it up for class. Let's clap it up for class, guys. You want to read some announcements? Lock in a second. It's locked in. All right. Let's see, hold on. Appreciate that parabot. Everybody, as we clapped it up for class, like we said, clap it up for class. Had a good class today on understanding 12 tribes of Israel. I appreciate everybody joining in class, okay? Security announcements. We're the Isupk, started off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the brother and sister. When a brother or sister come to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 and 10 means tenth in the Hebrew. ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of increase the Most High gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund. Free will offer for the priest. Not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. The upholding convocations. We read. Our next upholding convocation will be memorial blowing of trumpets, the first day of the 7th month, Sunday, 25th September 2022. Leviticus 23, 24, and 25. Okay. Remind Akim, that's all brothers, and Akwaf, that's all the sisters, to check the bulletin board in the hallway if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. For that we say, Shalom.